Alright, what's up Dominators? Welcome back to the VG channel, and today I have with me my personalized AI deck recipe. So yes, this is post V-BT09. It's pretty simple, I would say. I would say that this deck is actually tier like 1 to 1.5, but not at the top of tier 1, of course. Tier 1 belongs to like, those decks and other decks, but like this deck is really strong because of this card right here we'll get to later, which is a Number of Terror. But yeah, we have the deck yet again, so it'll be weird for me to post usually a deck recipe before the deck fights, but yeah, I'm just gonna do it anyways because I'm pretty running late on the uploads already, so might as well. And probably filming more deck fights about this deck and probably more from the BT09 set really soon. But for now, please enjoy this deck recipe video. So let's just jump right into it. Alright, so the first card we have is Scharhrot, the new VR in the set, of course. So the skill is pretty nuts, I would say. It's one of the better VRs of the set, comparable to like, Nightmares or like Harry. Skill is, you can want to see the VR right here, just move it one card right here. So skill is Vanguard Circle. At the start of the battle phase, all of your units in the front row gain like 1k for each card in your soul. So what does this mean? If your soul has like 10 cards, your front row gains plus 10k discounting. It's really simple, I would say, but it's really strong. So the later the game, the more power that you'll get depending on the number of your soul. And the second skill is what makes it really nuts, which is when this unit attacks, you may count +1. You stand one of your units, but if you have 30 or more soul, you stand 2 instead. But yeah, take note that it's stand one of your rear guards in the front row, sorry, not stand one of your units. So yeah, you stand one rear guards in the front row, but if you have 13 or more soul, you stand 2 instead. So it's a really strong card, I would say, comparable to like other VRs that are in the deck, like such as Yasui and Lucia. I think this one kind of like is one of the top few, comparable obviously to Nightmares and Harry, but it's a really good boost for the deck. And the ban of what's called Heartlake, I see why it's getting banned and restricted because of this card, because it allows the multi-attack madness with really high power and really high card draws. That's why this deck's meta. Second, we have Number of Terror. So we run 8 Great Trees in this deck. I don't run more, even though there are some people that run some cards we should get to just in a sec. So skill of Number of Terror: on place rearguard / guardian. If you have 10 or more soul, this unit gains plus 10k power and 10k shield. So it's free 22k attacker and free 10k / guard in your hand if you really want, but most of the time you want it on your rearguard circle because of the second skill right there. We have it. When this unit attacks, if you have 10 or more soul, you put 1 rearguard into your soul, you draw 2. So what this enables with the new VR Scharhrot is that you're able to draw a lot of cards because you're re-standing this rearguard, and then when he attacks, you put in 1 rearguard to your soul, you draw 2 cards. So if you have 2 of these and 3, basically your whole field is full, you're able to draw up to like 8 cards in 1 turn. And that's pretty insane. Like attack, then you attack, you soul in, draw 2, attack, soul in, draw 2. Vanguard attacks, count +1, stand 2 of your Number of Terror, and then drive checks. And then after that you attack again with Number of Terror, soul in, draw 2. Attack with the other Number of Terror, soul in, Number of Terror, and draw 2. Yeah, the combos are basically there. You get what I mean. So that's one of the reasons why this deck is actually a tier 1 deck. And with the addition of it having a free plus 10k and using Scharhrot's skill, the beginner battle phase, all of your front row units gain plus 1k for each kind of soul. It really contends the spot in terms of being one of the really scary decks on turn 3 / turn 4, especially if you're able to get the 13 soul at the start of your grade 3, your first grade 3, right? It's really insane, and it's really gonna apply a lot of pressure on your opponent. And opening a grade 3 right with 2 Number of Terrors and at least 10 cards in your soul is really like the best you could hope for, and you'll probably win that game yeah, thereafter. So moving on to the grade 2s, we have a healthy amount of grade 2s, which is 11. I've seen some people run like less than 11, but reasons why is because they run these 2 cards. So yeah, I kind of forgot about the grade 3s, like why I only run 8 grade 3s. I've seen people run like 10. They do run Gilded Rise, which is this new card right here in the new set. But I think it's really it's an optional pick. I would say it's a flex spot because I do run two flexer spot. We have two flex spot in this deck to, you know, whatever people actually want to run. So skill of Gilded Rise is Counterblast. On place Counterblast 1, you call Great Tour less from soul to rearguard circle, which I don't really get why you actually want to do that. I mean, it's a free rearguard, yes, but you minus 1 card from your soul. So yeah, I think it's because of the second skill, which is the Vanguard / rearguard skill, in which when it attacks, if you attack or more soul, you choose on your opponent rearguards and you retire it. So it gets rid of whatever rearguard that you don't want on your opponent's board, which is really good sometimes when, you know, you're going against decks that are really rearguard reliant and they have to have that specific rearguard on the field to, you know, gain whatever effects or whatever, blah blah blah. Gilded Rise is the only way you're actually gonna get rid of that, and it's one of the better removers when it just attacks and then you explode the opponent's rearguard. So yeah, recommend not 4 off, minimal 1 if you really want to play. I recommend 0 actually, because you can see that I don't run this in the deck. I prefer this grade 1 instead. But if you really feel that you're going against matchups where rearguards are really important, yeah, of course you can bring 1/2 Gilded Rise. I don't recommend 3 or 4. 2 is the maximum already. Second, we have this card right here. I'm not too sure the name, but Vanguard / rearguard on place, if you have 20 or more soul, whenever your opponent will have to guard, they have to throw like intervals of 20k shields. So yes, it's really annoying, especially paired with Scharhrot, but like, you know, I really don't feel the need to run this grade 3 because with immense power that you're going to get from Scharhrot and the immense draw power that you're going to get from Number of Terror, you're already able to push your opponent quite hard already. And well, this card makes it push harder, but I would rather sacrifice this card with additional filterers and shield value, which I'm running 2 at the additional grade 1s. So these 2 grade 3s are really up to you. It's pretty much the flex spot right there. Alright, going back to the topic of grade 2s, we have 11 grade 2s right here. We have Emblem Master, Counterblast 1, free soul charge 3. Wow, amazing. Second skill, if it's on rearguard / guardian, if it's 7 or more soul, this unit gains plus 5k power and 5k shield. Continuous both on your and your opponent's turn, so what the hell, it's a 14k unit with 10k shield. And on place Counterblast 1, Vanguard / rearguard, target 1 of the rearguards. Target 1 of the unit, sorry, search your deck for 3 copies of it, shove into your soul, and yeah, that's basically it. It was supposed to be used with Hard Leg, but since now Hard Leg's banned, we still run it because Counterblast 1 Soul Charge 3 is pretty insane, not gonna lie, and it's a targeted Soul Charge. Used in comparison with Viren's Killer Tail, which we'll get to later, is a great one. Second best card of the deck, I think, of the set, instead of Gilded Rise being a triple rare right here, this card should be a triple rare instead. It's called Demonted Executioner. On Vanguard, it's a pretty much a mediocre ability. When it attacks a grade 2 or greater, it's plus 5k, so it's a 14k attacker. So take note, it's only a Vanguard skill, so yeah, it's pretty mediocre. But the Vanguard / rearguard skill is insane. On place, Counterblast 1, you soul charge 3, and if you soul charge the trigger in that soul charge 3 cards, you draw a card. And this in conjunction with Yellow Board, which is your ideal first right target, and Demonted Executioner as a second, it's really easy to draw 2 cards. Because I understand that you do run 16 triggers, and sometimes you won't be able to proc Yellow Board skill or Demonted Executioner skill in terms of getting the draw if you soul charge the trigger. But if you don't soul charge the trigger, you have no loss. It's probably like at the top of your deck, or probably the next drive check, you can drive check it, so whatever. So this card is really strong. Free soul charge 3 for a Counterblast 1, almost the same as Emblem Master, but it's not targeted. But even if it's not targeted, you soul charge trigger, you still win because you still draw a card. So like, I don't see why the hell that's really bad, and I think this deserves the triple rare spot instead of, you know, Gills, so whatever. Moving on to this grade 2, I actually don't know the name, but reasons why I run it because it acts like an OTT card. On attack, Vanguard / rearguard, you have 5 or more soul, you look at the top card of your deck and you may soul charge it. So yeah, it's pretty insane just saying it's just free scry to the top of your deck. And 3 copies of it, I think it's healthy. Can opt to run 2. I wouldn't recommend going below 8 grade 2s. I mean, I've seen people run like 8 grade 2s only, but I don't recommend. I recommend a healthy amount of at least 9 to 10. I run 11, which is a pretty much healthy amount. And this card allows to scry the top card of the deck. And if there is a trigger, of course, you don't want to soul charge it, you just leave it on top. Because you can drive check into it. But if it's not a trigger, you can just shove into your soul. It's a free soul charge 1 every time you use the ability. And in conjunction with Scharhrot, sometimes I feel that you're able to check the top card of your deck a lot of times. If you have two of them on the field, you can check up to 4 times if you can restand both of them, because it's on attack skill. And you just need 5 or more soul, which is pretty simple to get in this deck, I would say. Alright, moving on to the great ones, we run a very healthy amount of great ones, which is 14 great ones. Yes, it's a bit excessive because I do run the 2 flex spots right here. First, we have the super hot succubus. I think it's the best best like art I think out of it. I would really like to buy the SP of it, but no one's actually selling the individual SP of this card. First skill, Vanguard Rearguard. If you with a card was put into your soul by in fact during your turn, this unit gets plus 5k, so yeah, 13k attacker / booster almost every time. Second skill, pretty generic, on place, top 5, add grade 3, added discard card. Yeah, I'm not gonna get into that. This deck, of course, you really need to search into your either Scharhrot or your what's called Number of Terror. And this deck, I realized when I've been playtesting it a lot, once you run into Number of Terror and not Scharhrot, you immediately just probably just lose the game, because Number of Terror on the Vanguard Circle does absolutely nothing, 0 presence at all. So ideal right target is obviously to Scharhrot. Second card we have, which is Yellow Ball. On place, does nothing of course, but the first skill, it's when it attacks a greater or greater, it gains 5k and you soul charge 1. Take note that the soul charge is mandatory, so it's a 13k attacker, but you at the same time you gain a free soul, so yeah, why not. Second skill is when you ride on top of it, you when a unit is ridden on top of it, so ideally a grade 2, you soul charge 2, and if a trigger or soul charge in that soul charge 2, you draw a card. So as I said before, conjunction with Demounted Executioner and Yellow Bot, for the cost of counter plus 1, you get to soul charge 5, and then out of that 5 soul charges, if you soul charge at least 2 triggers, 1 of Yellow Bot skill and 1 of Demounted Executioner skill, you draw 2 cards, which is insane already. And last but not least, we have Variance Killer Tail. I think the reason why we run is because one of the better counter charges of the deck, compared to, you know, the Gilded Rising deck. Shitty as triple rare grade 1 skill is pretty mediocre. Skill, not hard once per turn, it's just once per turn. You rest this unit, you either choose a card from your drop zone or from damage zone, send to your soul. You choose a card from your damage zone, you put a card from your top of your deck onto the damage zone face down, and you have 3 or more copies of her in the soul, you can't charge 1, which is impossible. You just have 3 copies of her in the soul. Yeah. So in conjunction with Emblem Master, your ideal grade 2 turn is to have like you call her down on your during your grade 1 turn. You write Emblem Master on top of Yellow Bot, so charge, hopefully you draw. Resolve Emblem Master skill. You resolve Emblem Master skill first, so shove 3 of her copies into the soul in case you so charge her accidentally by Yellow Bot. Then resolve Yellow Bot skill, you draw 1. And then you can't charge 1 by using Various Killer Tail skill, so it's additional free soul again. And then last but not least, use the Demounted Executioner skill, and hopefully you hit the trigger. If you don't hit the trigger, it's fine. If you hit the trigger, you draw another one. So that's like, let's see, 8 soul charge already during a grade 2 turn. And I think it's one of the best grade 2 turns you're ever gonna get. So yeah, 8 soul charge within your grade 2 turn is really strong. And in conjunction with your grade 1 and your grade 0 in soul, it's 10 soul already considered. And then once you ride up to grade 3, you either, you know, are able to use Demounted Executioner skill again, or you want to use Variance Killer Tail. You can even use this grade 2 right here to scry on the top and soul charge it, and then call down what's called Number of Terror, of course, for the free draw 2, free draw 1 in a sense, because you're souling 1 red gun to soul to draw 2. And then by the time your soul should be really filled up and at least hit 13 for Scharhrot skill, so you can stand your 2 Number of Terrors and, you know, apply more pressure and draw more cards in terms of the gameplay to win. Yeah, just basically it. Last but not least, we have this grade 1 right here. I'm not sure, is it called Alluring Succubus? It's something Succubus, it's almost the same as this grade 1, but skill is completely different. Act on Rearguard skill, count plus 1, you shove this unit to your soul. To the top 7 cards on your deck, search up to 2 grade 3s, and then if you do search up to 2, 1 goes to hand, 1 goes to soul. So I said this before, if you're actually riding into Number of Terror in this deck, you just lose out completely. The best grade 2 turn, of course, I said that before, is because you have Scharhrot in your hand already, or you search out Scharhrot through using your grade 3 searcher like this grade 1 right here. But in the case where you do have Number of Terror and you do not have Scharhrot, it's really important that you get it by a grade 3 turn as to not write Number of Terror. So this grade 1 really helps a lot in a sense where you don't write your grade 3 Number of Terror, and instead you use this card skill to search out your Scharhrot, so top 7, at hopefully you hit 2 grade 2s, 2 grade 3, sorry, so they can shove 1 to soul, shove like maybe you hit 2 Scharhrot, you shove 1 Scharhrot to soul, and you get 1 Scharhrot from there to your hand. And I think it's a really good card because it enables a soul charge, number 1, itself goes to soul, that's already a +1. Secondly, you search 2 grade 3s, 1 of them goes to soul, so it's like considerably a counter +1 soul charge 2, and you get a free grade 3 from the top 7 into your hand. So that's one of the reasons why I run this card. So yeah, this spot is completely flexible, as I said before. So you can run Irregulars, you can run this card right here, but in terms of fixing your right, and I would say getting Scharhrot in hand is most important, because some of the games I actually do not get Scharhrot, I just immediately just L. So yeah, this card really helps a lot. But depends on your grade 2 turn, you prioritize whether you want to use the Demonted Executioner skill, or you want to use this Scharhrot skill, because they both cause Counterblast. Especially not having the Emblem Master Variant Killer Tail combo in your grade 2 turn, so you have limited Counterblast unless your opponent checks crit, and then you just take the damage and you have a lot of Counterblast to spend. So it really helps in terms of resource management. I would say in this deck is almost as important as drawing cards and winning the game. As for triggers, we run the standard lineup. As I said before, you don't really want to run draws in this deck because you do soul charge a lot, and if you check draw triggers, yeah, sure, they're great. You increase your hand size, but Number of Terror really does that for you because you draw a shit ton of cards. So just play 12 crits using the new Sentinel crits, 30k shield, the normal 8 crits for heals for consistency. So yeah, you can go full all out if you really want to play 16 crits, but that's dumb. I would say that's not really that consistent compared to the 4 draw 12 crit deck. It's already quite greedy, but I play tested it a lot, and checking a double crit on your Scharhrot turn when you are pressuring your opponent so much already, it's just literally fatal for them because they are like unable to guard because your 2 Number of Terrors is really so big, at least 13 souls, so your whole front row gets 13k, and your Scharhrot checking double crit is additional +10/+10 with Number of Terror skill being another +10/+10, so it's like a free 30k already to the front row rear guards, which is, I don't know how Bushiroad designs this deck and designs the game, but whatever. Yeah, they made fucking Dotex a thing, so whatever. This deck is not really busted as compared to Dotex. I mean, it would be busted if Harley was still viable and able to play in this deck, because that will cause a lot of problems, and probably it's gonna get banned really soon. But it was banned beforehand, so yeah, thank God Bushiroad actually had the foresight to ban the card before even the VR was already released. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you much for watching. I hope you guys like this deck recipe. I know I talked a lot. I'm not sure what's the timer for this. It's probably like 15-20 minutes already. So yeah, but thank you much for this in-depth recipe. Listening to me rant a lot, because I think it was my first deck when I first joined Vanguard. Yes, it was my first and my favorite deck. I remember Limit Break 4 Dantarian, the break right was insanely good into Armon or whatever. But yeah, I'll probably never ever sell this deck and continue to play because I think it's really fun. I like the subtraction mechanic a lot. But yeah, thank you very much, Dominators. That's all for me. I'll be posting really much deck fights and deck recipes of 09 really soon, because we have all the decks. Apparently all my friends actually bought like each and every one of the deck of 09. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time. This is ShiHai, and I'm out. Peace.